Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about an article in Vogue about Meghan Markle's next style chapter. Let's get into it. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you have not already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. Now today, I want to talk about an article in Vogue that I discovered just browsing around, and I actually really enjoyed the article, and I thought, well, you know what, my subscribers would probably enjoy this too. And of course, it's in Vogue. I'm finding that most of my favorite articles about Meghan are in Vogue. It used to be Marie Claire, and it felt like they made a hard left. I'm not trying to, down them or anything, but it seems like they made a hard left, and now they're one of my least favorites. We'll go there one day, but not today. Today, I want to talk about Vogue's article because they got it right. The title of this article is Meghan Markle's next style chapter looks good on her. And this one was written by Alice Newbold. It was published on August 5th, which was last Friday. And so I'm excited to talk about it because it's still fairly new. I still want you to give it its clicks if you have the time. Click on the link and make sure you engage so that they can see that it was successful, and we'll get more articles like this. But before I get into it, I'm pretty sure you're like, Sharion, don't just roll up in here and act like you're not a whole day late without explaining yourself. You missed curfew, girl. So yeah, I've just been really busy. And this weekend, I got to see family that I have not seen in literal years. I think maybe even since my wedding. I don't know. Or definitely since before we moved to Florida. And so it was such a good time. I got to see my cousins Rhonda and my cousin. Okay, this is weird because I always call my cousin Pat Aunt Pat, and I've done it since I was a baby. And it is literally weird because I just call her sister Rhonda. And I don't know why I do that. I don't know. I think it's just how we were socialized when we were little, and now it's a habit. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, they're sisters. Literally sisters. If I call one of them aunt, I need to call the other one aunt. And if I don't call one of them aunt, I need to not call the other one aunt. But it is what it is. And no one has called me on it yet. And so I saw my Aunt Pat and my cousin Rhonda. So, look, I'm still doing it. 34 years old. It's hard to break habits. And I saw my cousins Jerry and my Uncle Charles. And it was a really good time. We went to this place called The Wharf on Sunset Walk. Am I getting that right? And Open Table tried to screw me over by saying I missed my reservation, but I corrected them. But we got it worked out. But we had a really good time. First of all, we ate some really good food. But my husband rarely gets to spend time with my family, especially since we moved to Florida. And so when they're in town, we definitely try to see them. When I tell you we were so excited to get on up that road and see them, we drove all the way from South Florida to Kissimmee, and we just had such a good day Saturday. I think we got home at like 11:45, and if you know me, you know that was late for me. Husband and I slept in on Sunday. We were real lazy on Sunday, and then that's usually when I do some editing, and Saturday is usually when I film or record for Monday, and I just did nothing. I mean, I face planted. So that's why this is a little late. Blame my Aunt Pat, my cousin Rhonda, not me. Anybody but me. Don't blame me for my poor time management skills. Blame everyone else. Also, have you guys been watching Rap Shit on HBO Max? It's good. It's probably my second favorite new show behind Abbott Elementary. We'll talk. I think I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. We'll talk. But let's get into this article, shall we? Again, the title of this article in Vogue is Meghan Markle's next style chapter looks good on her, and it's written by Alice Newbold. When Meghan Markle walked into the UN General Assembly in July, we sensed something was different. Shoulders back, head up, Meghan looked radiant and ready to do business on the arm of a suited and booted Prince Harry. Perhaps it was her Givenchy workwear that made her walk a little taller. The Duchess's luxed-up version of a classic tee and a pencil skirt, a black take on the forest green set she wore in Ireland in July 2018, was simplicity refined. Accessorized with classic pieces that spoke volumes: Cartier's Tank Francois watch and love bracelet, a mulberry Bayswater and Manolo Blahnik BB pump, the royal looked comfortable in the can-do image she was portraying. Now, before we continue, y'all know I'm going to butcher some pronunciations. Forgive me, and let's continue. Since stepping down as a senior member of the firm in January 2020, we've seen Meghan in three modes: Santa Barbara mom, Hollywood businesswoman, and exiled royal on a mission to tell her side of the story. Either at home in her trademark skinny jeans and boyfriend shirts, growing the couple's Archwell empire in slick Armani dresses, or reluctantly digging out her posh dress coats to head back to London. The Duchess is always ready to face the watching world. Her recent trip to New York saw Meghan loosen up a little. She packed a hard-working wardrobe of summer, tailoring, and minimalist evening wear. But most importantly, she looked like herself. Less trussed up than we have ever seen her in the past, Meghan, in a navy wool Christian Dior Bermuda shorts and heels, another pair of BBs, showed off a more playful side to her slick, public-facing wardrobe while lunching with Gloria Steinem. Her monochrome Gabriella Hearst jumpsuit, which she wore to dinner with friends, meanwhile came with a pair of bow-flecked Aquazzura stilettos and a wonderfully tactile Bottega Intrecciato pouch. The whirlwind trip left the overall impression of a woman who had absolutely nailed it in terms of personal PR. See Amal Clooney, who also toes the line between on-trend and timeless, knows how to work and play hard. You know what? Before we continue, that is 100% true. That is 100% true. Amal Clooney is actually someone I love, love, love. She is on my wall of inspirational women, and I adore her style, but I also adore her politics and her ethics. Get into it. Glimpses of this more confident and laid-back Duchess have been emerging for a while now. At the Santa Barbara Polo in May, Meghan dabbled in the Bermuda shorts look again, this time by way of Kate and a Pretty Woman-esque polka dot blouse courtesy of Celine. Days prior, and again at the Polo, she wore framed denim cutoffs, the kind that harked back to the ripped jeans fan that first caught Harry's eye back in 2016, and a Laushanine Bing shirting. These are small, subtle shifts, a whiff of distressed denim here, an artfully crumpled linen button up there, but enough for eagle-eyed style watchers to pick up on and note that it's a shift away from the protocol dictated by the royal institution. No amount of boyfriend shirts or Cartier status symbols can buy self-assuredness, but for Meghan, it's all part of her armor against the world. It will certainly be interesting to see where this calm, cool, and collected fashion phase takes her next. So that's the end of the article. And I'm going to link it in the description box below. I thought it was a really great little review of Meghan so far. And this year, she has really pulled out some really great looks, but not just great looks, but I think a lot of looks that are so different. We know her signature style at this point, which I think that's not the issue. The cool thing about it is she still manages to wow us while still looking like herself. Like everything she wears, I'm like, if I saw that out, I would probably consider that's something Meghan would wear. And I'm pretty sure we all do it subtly. We don't even realize we're doing it. But once we start to pick up on someone's style, we do start to associate their look in other ways. Amal Clooney is someone I would definitely say is in the same vein of Meghan's style. She is on trend. I don't even like on trend. I'll say she is modern, because I don't think Meghan is trendy either. I think they're both modern and they both have a classic touch. So if you looked at Meghan's, like pictures of Meghan's outfits that she wore in 2022 and you look at them in 2032, they're probably still going to look in style. And that's what you get when you give classic. I am a person who responds well to classic looks. I love now vintage. Oh, you are in my bag. Now let me tell you, if you hit me with an asymmetrical hat or a pillbox hat, oh, I'm yours forever. I love a good hat. I love a good hat with a bow. I could be 179 years old. Put a hat on my head with a bow and I am yours forever. Let me say it. Okay. I have always loved a good hat. Ask my grandparents what I was like on Easter. If we're getting me a dress, you're getting me some lace socks that roll down. I don't do stockings. I do lace socks that roll down. Little shoes with taps. Porcelain looking shoes with taps. And a hat. If I didn't have a hat, put a ginormous bow on my head. Now here's the thing. When I was little, my hair was really thin and curly. Very thin and curly. and it was a little bit of like a dirty brown red look, and like my mom's is now. And when I tell you, they would put that ginormous bow on my head, and the bow was 19 times bigger than my little tiny bun. But they knew what time it was. So anyway, I love a good classic or a good vintage look. And that's something that I really, really like about both Meghan and Amal Clooney's style. Now get this. Do you guys remember when Amal Clooney was engaged to George Clooney, and it was like their wedding weekend, and she wore, I'm trying to think of who the designer was. It wasn't Ralph and Russo, was it? I think it might have been Oscar de la, no, Jean-Baptiste Valli. That's who it was. She wore this white lace, floral lace, Jean-Baptiste Valli dress that I have been looking for literal years. I want this dress. I've actually considered just finding someone to make me a replica, but I want the dress. And it's always sold out. And when it's not, my money might be funny. So I don't know. But it's definitely a dress that I would need it to be a special occasion. I'm not going to spend that kind of money and go to dinner. We're going to go to a ball, a gala. And I'm really considering waiting until my 10-year wedding anniversary and buying that dress, because we're going to be abroad, and wearing that to celebrate our 10-year wedding anniversary. And I think that's really appropriate, because let me tell you, I'm not a celebrity, and I'm on a budget. And Amazon gets my money. They know they're going to get their cut. And I'm not cutting into that. I always need a picture or some paint or something, a floor mat. I always need something. So, but yeah, I really want that dress. And I'm gonna plug it here. But it was a white lace floral Jean-Baptiste Valli dress. It was a long sleeve mini dress with an asymmetrical, or no, high-low hem. It was so beautiful. And I bet most of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was the day I said, oh, Amal is not to be played with. Mama knows what she's doing. She can dress, and she still does classic looks. And then her wedding dress, she also did that kind of, not cream, it was more of like a champagne silk dress. And she did kind of a vintage look for their wedding too. And that was perfect, not only for her, who has really beautiful features and can carry that look, but also for George Clooney. I done went on about Amal. Did y'all forget her husband is George the man Clooney? So anyway, we know he can hang a suit, and we definitely know vintage looks good on him too. So anyway, I really do love that they referenced Amal Clooney in this article about Meghan, because Meghan's style is very classic. That black and white jumpsuit, I was floored. I love that look. And I never got a chance to talk about this in depth, because at the time the Sussex news was kind of moving quickly, and I really didn't get a chance to dig in the way I want to. But let me say this, that black and white look was really good, because I loved the way it galloped. Now, one thing I will say, Meghan knows the value of a good tailor, and all her clothes are tailored to perfection, and they fit her. I think I say this every time we talk about fashion, but let me tell you about those pants, honey. Have you ever seen a Clydesdale horse? You know how a Clydesdale horse gallops, and they have that tuft on their hoof? Is it a hoof? Child, I don't know. But anyway, on their little feet, on the little horse feet, and they have that tuft, and so every time they gallop, it kind of bounces and it has body. You know what I'm talking about? When she wears long pants, the way her pants are tailored, they gallop down the leg. And that's good tailoring. I learned that from Kyle Barker on Living Single. Your pants should gallop. And now when I see people with tailored pants, I'm like, a little stiff. I'm a complete pants snob for someone who wears yoga pants 100% of the time. Oh, I'll be talking shit from my little window. Look at her stiff pants. Look at that jacket he's wearing. Oh, wow, it's bunching me in a whole halter top, sports bra, and yoga pants 98% of the time. But anyway, this article was really good because I thought it, one, showed Meghan in a great light, and that's what I prefer. I prefer positive articles about Meghan. And I don't even like to say positive. I'm going to just keep saying honest. But most importantly, Vogue knows fashion. I would even say Vogue and fashion may be synonymous at this point. I feel like if you say one, you know the other. And for them to do this piece on her, I felt like, one, it could have been a little longer. Gonna be honest. I would have liked a little more depth, but I thought the article was fun to read. I also like the fact that they show in the article where you can get all the things. So they name each item, and they can tell you where to get them. So if you ever want to buy some of those pieces, If anyone asks, or if my husband asks, I want the Cartier Love bracelet, gold, please. But if he's listening, my birthday's September 3rd. But anyway, they show you where to get all the jewelry, all the outfits, and all the shoes. I was actually surprised. Anytime I talk about Meghan's clothes, if I talk about her shoes and she's not wearing Aquazzura pumps, I'm like, what? I'm getting to the point where I like know her brands now. That's so funny. I like reporting on fashion. It's a lot of fun. But I will say, I'm getting to a point where I'm like getting exposed to more things that are going to beat my budget up. And that's a problem for no one, not in my opinion. Now, listen, the rent man and the mortgage man and the car note man, they will get their cut eventually. But do I need this bracelet now? Yes, ma'am. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But this is a really cool article. It's in the description box below. But I have a question for you. Now, we've never, I don't think, talked about Amal Clooney on this channel. And I would like to start integrating her into this channel as well. I've already integrated Beyonce. You know, I'm a Hive member. Proud of it. Been a Hive member since DC 4, not 3. Since hearing the song Second Nature. You know, us oldies will know what I'm talking about. Destiny's Child song Second Nature is one of the best. But I would like to integrate more Amal Clooney because she is a style maven. I love her clothes. And I'm really into them. And I like her style, her overall style. She is a businesswoman as well, just like Meghan. One thing I want to point out about this article that kind of bugged me was they mentioned Meghan's armor against the world. I'm going to try to find the quote. Give me a second. I'm recording this live today. I usually edit and cut the videos. I'm trying to record more videos live so that it's, you know, more conversational and we don't have a lot of jump cuts everywhere. But I want to go back to the part where she says she's usually dressed in her armor. And I want to, let's see, is this it? No. So I want to address that for some reason because it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't know what it was about it that kind of made me like, I don't know about that. You know, I don't know about that. Here it is. No amount of boyfriend shirts or Cartier status symbols can buy self-assuredness, but for Meghan, it's all part of her armor against the world. If I were editing this article, I likely would have highlighted this line and said, can we come up with something else? Here's why. I don't personally feel like Meghan armors herself against the world. I kind of feel like it's the opposite. I feel like she's done an amazing job of sharing what her motivations are. And I think that's why most of you watch videos such as this, why most of you watch other, you know, YouTubers who talk about Meghan in a positive light. I think that's why there is a Sussex squad, because I don't feel like Meghan armors herself against the world. I think the problem is that she doesn't. And that's why there is a Sussex squad who comes out and talks and speaks on her behalf and defends her, because she doesn't armor herself. She actually integrates herself into the world. And she does it in a selfless manner because she takes the hits so that she can continue to help in the ways that she sees fit. And she can continue to dedicate herself to a life of service despite what it costs her. And it has cost her, it could cost her peace of mind, but something tells me she knows the power of logging off and knowing where to put that criticism. As she told us, compliments and criticisms go down the same drain, because she has decided to validate herself for herself. But at the same time, when you do that, you leave yourself a little vulnerable. And that's where Sussex Squad comes in. She's able, in my opinion, when you have a strong fan base, and Beyonce knows this too, when you have a strong fan base who protects you out in the world and protects your name out in the world, you get to focus on what you need to focus on. And I think that's what's important. I don't think, and I know that the Sussex Squad, I love using that name because it's cute. But I know that the quote Sussex Squad takes some hits, and people like to minimize and devalue the impact of the group who supports Meghan and the multiple groups who support Meghan. And I, for one, can tell you this. I think what the quote unquote Sussex Squad does is, one, put their money, time, and effort where their mouths are. They definitely not only align with Meghan, but they support Meghan and her causes and uplift. I've seen people fake out where they pretend to be pro Meghan and they come over here and then they create infighting. But I feel like we've gotten past that. I think we've all kind of been able to not isolate. I'll say we've all been able to refine the lines that dictate who's pro and who's anti, and we've been able to suss them out really quickly. That's something that I'm definitely getting better at. If you notice, the channel is a little bit cleaner. I still get hit from time to time, but the channel's a little bit cleaner. We've had a lot less of the back and forth with some unfavorables who join us from time to time. And we've been able to just coexist in peace and continue to uplift not only Meghan, Harry, and their babies and their little bambinos, but their causes in a positive light, because that's really what it's all about. It's not about the detractors, it's about the pro. What are we here to do? Not what are we here to work against, what are we here to work for? You have to have a more of a purpose than what you don't like. You have to have a purpose for what you do. You have to know what you do support, not just what you don't. And I think that's what sets the people who support Meghan apart from other people. So when you see articles who say things like, but for Meghan, it's all part of her armor against the world. I think that does her a little bit of a disservice. I think it's almost like a backhanded compliment. I don't think she armors against the world. I think she's pro the world. I think she's pro improving the world. I think it's her armor against those who are not pro improving the world. And I hope I made myself clear with that, because I'm just trying to explain my point, but I didn't like that line. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't care for it. So maybe I'm just being fickle, but I was like, armor against the world makes her sound like the problem. And I don't think she needs to armor against the world. I think the issue is the world. There are people in the world who armor against her, and those people are usually people who do not like change in progress. We can identify them immediately. And it's good to know that there are people like the writer of this article who can focus on the fashion, the fun, and all the good things about Meghan. But it's important to be mindful of language. And so other than that line, I thought the rest of the article was fantastic. I love the comparison to Amal Clooney's style, because I definitely think they are aligned in the same vein. I'm definitely going to post that Jean-Baptiste Valli dress. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to stop saying Jean-Baptiste Valli all day. It's the one thing I can pronounce right, and I'm going to run it in the ground. But anyway, tell me what you think of Meghan's best look so far this year. And if you do know who Amal Clooney is, and if you do like her fashions, what's your favorite Amal dress or Amal outfit? She does a pantsuit really well. Now, she's also someone who gets a good gallop on the pant leg. So let's chat about it in the comments. What's your favorite Amal and your favorite Meghan outfit? Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get out of here and upload this so that y'all don't think I'm tardy for the party. But I'm also going to link this article in the description box below. Again, this was Meghan Markle's Next Style chapter looks good on her. And this is in Vogue, and it was written by Alice Newbold. So go ahead and feel free to check that out and engage and let them know we want more positive Meghan content, especially from you, Vogue, because you are still credible. For now. You know I'll get you if you're not. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell, and I will see you next time. Bye.